Hi, everyone. This is Steve Dolson. Welcome to this week's edition of CEOs You Should Know. I am thrilled to be joined by Ivanette, the Chief Communications and Government Relations Officer for Kidde.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here today. We're so excited to be able to have a conversation and dive into a little bit more about your background and all about Kidde.
Awesome.
So why don't we kick off today learning more about you? Can you share a little bit about your background and your journey on what led you to Kidde?
Yes. So I have an interesting background. I actually studied industrial engineering.
Wow.
Yes. And I started my career as a research and development engineer. I started working with Procter & Gamble and worked for a couple years, moved to manufacturing. So I worked as a process engineer for a pharmaceutical plant that we had in Puerto Rico, where I'm from, actually. And then I moved into communications after, I did the technical thing. I liked it. But really, my passion was more on the creative. I wanted to move into the commercial side of the business. And so that's when I made the move. And it's been a great transition. And I just love the work I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And of all the brands out there, you've worked at a lot of different well-known brands within the industry. What ultimately led you to Kidde?
Yeah, so I've always been driven by brands that have a mission, that have a purpose. Mm-hmm. And so while I was at Procter & Gamble, I worked with many different brands, including Always. And that brand was really focused on helping girls get the confidence through puberty. And now with Kidde, it's a different purpose, but it's all centered around helping save lives.
Yep.
And so what greater mission and purpose than that? I mean, you can't beat that. So for me, that was like a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely. Very fulfilling mission.
Yeah.
And Kidde has been the trusted leader in fire safety for over 100 years. What do you think is the key to maintaining that leadership in the industry?
Yeah, I think it's a relentless focus on consumers and people at the end of the day. A focus on quality, making sure that your products, they're life safety products, so you have to have that. Yep. And then a focus on innovation, right? You can't get stuck. Otherwise, it's a 100-year-old brand. We wouldn't be around if we didn't have innovation and if we really didn't, at the end of the day, really care about the people that we're serving. So at the end of the day, it's all about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think the amazing thing that I've got to experience firsthand is all the really great work you guys do for the community. You've been really the champion in closing the gap with fire safety. Many people sometimes underestimate the risk, I think, of house fires. Can you share some of the surprising fire safety stats and tips that everybody really should know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the biggest issues that we see. People don't think that it's going to happen to them.
Yep.
That's why when we talk to people, they don't even know what smoke alarm they have or what carbon monoxide alarm they have, if they have it, right?
Yeah.
And so people actually think, there's 40% of people think that they're going to win the lottery or get struck by lightning before having a house fire.
It's wild.
It's wild.
Yeah.
And actually in the U.S., there's a house fire every 88 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and every year about 3,000 people die in house fires in the U.S., which is, it's unheard of,
Way
right?
too many, yeah.
One too many, exactly. Yep. And so when you look at the statistics, 3 out of 5 house fire deaths happen in properties where they don't have working smoke alarms. The alarm might be there, but the battery might have been removed, right?
Yep.
Or, it started chirping, they took it down and they forgot to put.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
So many times that's what happens. But when you see the numbers and you see the statistics, smoke alarms can actually double the chances of you escaping a house fire safely. So at the end of the day, just by having the device, testing it, making sure it's working, that in itself, and being preparing
Yep.
your family, if there's an emergency, making sure everyone knows what to do, that's what's going to make the difference. And that's what we try to focus on.
Absolutely. And a great focus area to have. You guys have been, you mentioned this earlier, really at the forefront of innovation when it comes to home safety. Can you share a little bit about the innovations that you've gone through in the last few years?
Absolutely. The smoke alarm and CO alarm category has been, it's really an industry that doesn't move fast in terms of innovation, right? But for Kidde, we've been really focused on leveraging technology, leveraging innovation to move the needle. So just last year, we launched a new line of products called Kidde Detect. And the products themselves has 25% faster detection,
Wow.
3 times more precise detection. And the thing is, every second counts. You only have about 2 minutes to escape a house fire, right? So if your alarm, does detect it faster, you have a better probability of getting out, right? So with new sensing technology, we can do that. The other thing is reducing nuisance alarms. So when you're cooking, for example, if that smoke alarm goes off and it's not really a fire, and you, for example, remove batteries or do something to it, that puts you at risk.
Yep.
And so by reducing nuisance alarms with technology, then it makes sure that people are safer, right? So that's one of the things we do. And then the other new technology that we have is smart technology, right? Everything's smart in the home, so why not the smoke alarm, right? And the smoke and CO alarm. And so we just recently talked and launched a new partnership that we have with Ring.
Okay.
So Kidde, think smoke alarm and smoke with the Ring, with Ring technology embedded in it, so that, if you already have Ring products and you have the Ring app, then it's all integrated in one place, right? And if you're out and about and if anything happens, you're going to have a notification right on your phone.
Wow.
So how cool is that, right?
That is really cool. I have to get one of those.
Yeah, you got to go
awesome.
get one.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the biggest initiatives you guys have really giving back to the community is Cause for Alarm, which addresses fire safety among all communities, right? Can you share a little bit about the inspiration behind that program and what really led to it?
Yeah, so Kidde has been working on community risk reduction for decades. A 100-year-old brand. Yes, we've been doing this for a long time. But it was really in 2022, about 3 years ago, that there were 2 fires that happened in the beginning of the year in January, back to back, less than a week apart. One was the Philadelphia fire and one was here in New York City in the Bronx. Between those 2 fires, 29 people died, 17 of which were children, which again is kind of like, how is that happening, right?
Yeah.
And so for us, while we're in the business and we've seen this happen time and time again, that was so shocking. It really shook us to the core. We really were motivated to double down on the effort and want to do more. And so that really put the Cause for Alarm journey in motion. And the name of the campaign is kind of a play on words, right?
Yep.
So you look at the statistics. For example, the Black community, nearly twice as likely to die in a house fire. Children, every day a child dies of a house fire. Those are alarming statistics, right?
Yep.
But when you have a smoke alarm, when you have CO alarm, your probabilities of escaping double, like I mentioned, right? So it is cause for alarm, right? The staggering statistics, but products and education that can help you save, your family, protect your family. So really that's what put it in motion. And you look at the stats and they repeat themselves. Same communities being impacted time and time again. And so the elderly as well, people with disability, pets. Pets sometimes obviously don't know what to do. And many times firefighters come and find them, unfortunately, passed away. So that's one of the things that really got us, to focus on that effort. And so the Cause for Alarm campaign has 3 pillars. We focus on 3 things. One is education. We feel education is super important.
100%.
Right?
Yep.
If you don't know, you don't know, right?
Yep.
People won't be aware that with these products, you can be better protected. Knowing what to do if the alarm sounds, also your kids, if you have kids, them knowing what to do. Many times firefighters find kids hiding, right? And sometimes it's too late. And so we don't want that to happen to anyone.
Yeah.
So we want to focus on education. Access to products, right? Making sure that people know that the smoke and CO alarms can help protect you. Making sure that people know too that they expire. They have a 10-year life. Some people have alarms in their house
for years,
that are 20 years old. No, that's not really going to protect,
They need
right?
to get the innovation you guys have
They
right
need
now.
to get the innovation. They need to make it a priority, right?
100%.
Fire, CO, safety, make it a priority. So that's 2. And then 3 is driving systemic change. We work a lot to make sure that, the standards and codes and regulations also require that, right? As new buildings or new homes are being built, that they have those fire and CO safety measures integrated into it so that we can help protect more people.
100%. I mean, it's great work you guys are doing to raise awareness of it and the education part. After I heard this is yesterday, it resonated home with me. Where I'm a father of 2, so as soon as I hear it, obviously the statistics around children, I went home to my wife and was like, "What is ours? What fire alarm do we have?" So we're all to speed, and we do have Kidde products. So just to throw that out there. Sticking on the education topic. Obviously, that's probably one of the most important pillars, raising that awareness to prevent those fire tragedies. Can you tell us a little bit about your creative campaigns, Beeps to Last, Get Out Fast, and how Kidde has been using that storyline to really impact change?
Yeah. So that's one of the things that in our category we have to do, be creative, because again, we aren't necessarily the sexiest of categories, right? It's not a new phone or a new, tennis shoe. So as we think of the importance of smoke alarms and CO alarms, how can we connect with people, right? How can we grab their attention? It's a busy world. I get it. We're all busy, right? But how can we do something that gets your attention and really teaches you something at the most simplest of levels, right? So beeps that last, get out fast. So it's really centered around children and making sure that they know what to do in the event of a fire. And the reality is, if that alarm sounds, you get out fast, right?
Yeah.
Don't hide, don't look for anything, just get out. And then for parents to work with their kids so that they can practice that and that they also have a meeting spot. It's not just get out of your house and keep walking. No, find a spot where you can meet so that then together you can call 911 and whatnot. So we created the jingle, beeps that last, get out fast. It's kind of a catchy tune. And we have a video that goes with it, and we use that in our educational efforts. We created a children's book as well, and we use that.
Awesome.
Yeah, we use that in schools and in summer camps as well to spread the message. We give it to firefighters when they're doing their efforts as well. So we try to share resources, obviously, with the communities that we work with as well. And then last year we created what we called the Living Jingle, which was taking that jingle and having kids that had survived fires sing it, hearing it from their voices, right?
Yeah.
They were able to get out successfully, and they want to teach others how to do that too.
Well, I've had the pleasure of being able to hear the jingle and see the video, and I can tell you it definitely really resonates in a really creative, emotional way. So great job.
Thank you.
Great job with that. So partnerships also play a huge role in the fire safety awareness, right? How is Kidde working with organizations like the Home Depot and iHeartMedia to spread these critical messages?
Yeah, well, it takes a village, right? This work, you can't do it alone. We have not done it alone. We have to work with others. That's the most effective way to make change. So we've been working with the Home Depot for many years and really focused on driving the education, but also doing donations to fire departments across the country.
Awesome.
So we work with them, and they help us take the donations to the firefighters. Sometimes we have drive-by events where the fire trucks come and we load them with the different, smoke and CO alarms. So Home Depot has been a big part of that. And obviously iHeart is a partner that started from the beginning with us and help us spread the word, of course, with the reach that you guys have and the ability to connect with people across the country with such an important message, and also leveraging your talent. Again, it's making it relevant.
Yep.
When people hear messages from people that they connect with or they hear, they're more likely to pay attention. So honestly, it's like the best of all worlds coming together, right, for a common cause.
Well, we're very grateful to be part of the partnership. So thank you for
for
utilizing us.
Absolutely.
Looking ahead, I know we talked about the different innovations within Kidde. What's next? Are there other products, other strategies that you guys are looking forward to in the future?
Yeah, so we're excited about the Ring partnership. We announced it in January, but the product actually is going to hit the stores in April.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that for us, we're like just waiting for that, because I think it's going to be a great partnership as people integrate it. The Ring product, it's embedded in a product that many people already have, but that it also has the opportunity to people to subscribe to a 24/7 fire and CO monitoring service, which is really neat. Again, making life simple. We're all busy, and if you can integrate it into your phone, right, or into something that already exists that you have, why not? So that's really exciting. We're really looking forward to that. And then we continue to find ways to connect our products to other home safety opportunities. So we also have, you probably don't know this, but we also have a water leak detector. We have heat alarms, gas alarms. So we have fire escape ladders, of course, as you're creating. So we have a full, scope of products that we provide. And from an innovation standpoint, we're really focused on continuing the connected device space and looking to provide solutions for other home hazards, really becoming a home safety holistic provider. So that's what we're focused on.
That's great.
Yeah.
So in addition to the products and the development and the innovation, what's next in the next few years when it comes to raising awareness around fire safety? What are some of the key goals or different benchmarks you have set?
Yeah, so our main goal is really closing that fire protection gap. There's only about 30% of homes in the U.S. that are protected to the NFPA standards. NFPA is the National Fire Protection Association. So our goal is really to close that gap through education and coming up with these creative campaigns, working with you guys on spreading the message. So our job is not done, and we'll continue to try to find creative ways, connecting with communities. We have an event coming up at a local Bronx Home Depot store, hoping to spread the message wide, cast a wide net. And so we won't stop. Our job's not done, and we'll continue to work with our partners to further the message.
I love to hear that. I look forward to seeing that
Yes.
happen too. So let's talk a little bit about you. So you are a working mom of 4. You balance obviously a demanding career, but still maintain your family life. What motivates you every single day, and what advice would you give our listeners to continue to do so?
Some people ask me, how do you do it? I'm like, I don't know. No, but for me, motivation, my kids, my family, my faith, and honestly, a job that gives me the opportunity to make a positive impact in people's lives, like that's so rewarding. So really, that's what drives me every
Yeah.
day. And then in terms of advice, I would just say like, especially for young women, maybe thinking about a career in engineering or a career in communications or even government relations, opportunities are so many, right?
100%.
Yeah, and I think it's so important for young people to believe in themselves. Sometimes we have these doubts in our heads of like, can I really do this? Well, actually, yeah, you need to believe in yourself before others will. So that's like the first thing. And then having the confidence to speak up. I remember when I started my career, looking back now, it's like, well, I was kind of shy to speak up or ask questions. Like, no, you have the same right as the other person has been there, 20 years.
100%.
So that's really important. And then, you will have obstacles that come up, but it's okay. You get up and you keep going. You can't give up, right? So for me, that's been the 3 things that I always go by and I would share as advice.
That's great advice. So we talked about a lot of exciting stuff, right? Personally and professionally, and about Kidde. But what's next? What's next for you? What's next for Kidde? What are you excited about?
Yeah, well, I'm excited about continuing our mission, to be honest. Continuing to work with our partners to share this great message, coming up with creative ways to do that, using technology to solve those problems, really, trying to embed ourselves into people's lives in a relevant way, in a meaningful way. And I really just, we hope to make fire and CO safety a priority and that people, do that as well. Because at the end of the day, it's about, helping protect your family, and really that's the crux of the work that we do.
Absolutely. Well, you educated our listeners today a ton about fire safety. But if there's one thing you want everyone to take away that's tuning in about fire and CO safety, what would that be?
That it matters. Fire CO safety matters. We need to pay attention to it. You need to take action. Nobody's going to do it for you. So educate yourself on what it is. And it's as simple as having the right alarms and detection, the smoke alarms and CO alarms, and then preparing your family in the event of fire. Hopefully it never happens to you.
Yeah.
But if it does, then you're going to be prepared. It's all about being prepared.
Absolutely.
So really, again, it's making it a priority and making it a part of your everyday life, just as any other part of your home life.
Great advice. If anyone is tuning in that wants to learn more about Kidde or some of the initiatives you guys partake in, what would your advice be?
Yeah, so we have kidde.com as our website. You can go there and learn more about all our products and all our innovation. And then you can go to causeforalarm.org to find out more information about our social impact campaigns, educational materials. We have toolkits. We have the Beeps That Last video there, the living jingle, all sorts of really creative, fun tools for families to use as they prepare their fire escape plans.
Awesome. Well, I encourage everyone to check it out. It really is an amazing cause and an amazing initiative. So thank you for doing such phenomenal work.
Thank you so much, and thanks for your partnership. It means a lot.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming in today. We really enjoyed learning about your background, learning more about Kidde, and learning about all the amazing work you guys do. So really appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Tune in next week for next week's edition of COs You Should Know.